So, Severance season 2 has aired, and the
A lot
first
of people are
episode
talking about it.
is so good.
Really?
It's so I can't. I'm always singing the song in my head, like the intro song to it. It
Okay.
is. It is. If you were into Westworld at any point in time, like at any point in time, I know a lot of people fell off of Westworld.
After
You know what I
season
mean?
2.
And I totally respect. I hung out basically the whole way through.
Okay.
Right? Was I confused after a while? 100%. I did not. By the time Aaron Paul showed up in Westworld, I didn't know what was going on.
It was a different show.
I was like, I guess.
What is Westworld? I don't know anything
That's
about
just-
it.
Oh man, that's such a loaded question.
Okay, no worries.
Before you get into that, do you think it's justified to get a whole Apple like TV situation just for Severance?
So that's what's hard about like the Apple TV,
Trials and stuff.
like, because eventually you're gonna have to like not have the trial, right? So at this point, we're talking about paying, right? We're not.
How much is it?
Like $9.99. I could be wrong, right? I don't
It's
want
not the worst.
I don't. It's not the worst, right? So
I used a trial for Monarch, so that was me.
the thing about Apple TV is it, and I've said it before in past episodes, it really is quality over quantity. So like you're not gonna have a big library, but if you just decide to watch everything they have, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Like I love Ted Lasso. I didn't think I was gonna love Ted Lasso,
Oh, that
and
was
being
okay.
into Ted Lasso, and at the same time watching Blue Lock got me into soccer a little bit more. And then I started playing FIFA a little bit, and like now I understand football a little bit better.
I understand it now.
There's also Maya Rudolph's Apple TV series, something Fool's Money or something.
Yeah,
Oh, that one's also gas.
yeah.
It's
So I
great.
haven't watched that. I watched the one with Harrison Ford, the therapy one, whatever.
Oh, that's
Shrinking.
okay.
There we go.
Ah.
I watched that.
the morning show is good too.
I want to watch that
with
because I was like,
Jennifer
that
Aniston
looks
and Reese
Yeah,
Witherspoon.
that was
that
really
looks
good.
cool. I watched this thing called Bad Sisters. I told you about that before.
Yeah, you have.
Really, really good. And like now I got into Severance, and I'm like,
And Godzilla's monsters.
it's such a good mind fuck, bro. Like it really is entertaining to watch, and it's so much mystery. And it has the same thing that Westworld had in regard to that mystery, where it's like I said it before, it's like you're airing the line between what's moral and what's not, because
Yeah.
you can separate your, like they do something to your brain so that whenever you go to work, which is like in this lower level like elevator thing, whatever personality and who you are inside is completely separate from who
Right.
you are on the outside. So like as a premise, I know a lot of people have felt like, oh man, I wish I would totally have two different personalities. But then like at that point in time, it's like the person that's at work, when do they become like their own person and a real person? But like you're not giving them the option. They don't have the option to choose when, because like they don't have the same rights as the Audi, they call it. The Audi and the Innie have two different lives. So like there's a little bit of like kind of like oppression a little bit, because it's like, okay, what, are you not a real person? You are. You have your own life experiences. You feel. You have all. It's an interesting like just series to get into. It's only one season. Well, it's in season 2 now. The first episode came out. First season's eight episodes. So like it's
Super
a quick.
short.
It's a quick watch. It's not
Yeah.
even hour-long episodes. It's not even that long.
Okay.
Ben Stiller did his thing with this because
he directed this.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
I didn't know that.
they took over Grand Central, and then they did a whole thing with them like acting like they're in their like cubicles inside Grand Central. So
Oh, I saw.
saw that.
Yeah.
it's a good watch. I'm really, really enjoying it. Well, what's his name is in it? Something Tutoro, the dude from the Batman, John Tutoro.
Which one is that one?
He was Carmine Falcone.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's in there. He's good. I really,
That's
really
cool.
enjoy it.
I saw one small clip of like Ben Stiller looking like he was running in the back rooms, and yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah, definitely recommend it. What else am I? There's this new anime. It's an Isekai. I'm watching an Isekai. It's been a while since I picked up one. Red Ranger gets sent to another world.
That's the one you sent us, right?
Yeah.
I have to watch
I
that.
saw a clip of that.
2 episodes in. Listen,
It's brand new, right?
yeah, 2 episodes in. Just came out. I'm not gonna tell you it's fire. I'm not gonna lie to you right now. I'm not gonna lie
It's
to
an
you.
isekai.
But it's an Isekai. It's a Red Ranger who gets Isekai'd after
it.
like dying in a final fight in like his Power Ranger world.
Ah.
He gets Isekai'd, but he still has all his Red Ranger powers.
Oh.
So like I know we're all anime pros here, you know, like and we all know what isekai means and stuff. So like but like just in case for the people out there who might not know, like
Okay,
what does that mean?
Isekai is when a human or a character who dies in their world,
Usually by a truck.
usually by a truck.
Stereotypically.
We call him Truck-kun. You must beware Truck-kun at all times.
Especially in New York.
Yes, OD.
Any major metropolitan area.
And usually what happens is the said character wakes up in another world. Sometimes it's medieval themed. Most of the time it's medieval themed.
Fantasy, yeah, medieval.
Most of the time it's
Most,
fantasy.
if not all.
Yeah. And then usually the person who gets isekai'd, killed, sent to this another world is most of the time a loser.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do some cool stuff where it's not a loser.
Right.
It's like it gives them an opportunity to reset and
be
try
better.
again and be better.
Got it.
Now, sometimes the person gets to show up in their own body, and sometimes they reincarnate as a baby and they still have their adult mind.
Or anything in between.
Spider, a slime,
A spider, a slime,
anything.
A
anything.
vending machine.
A vending machine.
Sometimes they
Yes.
get powers.
A
which is
cell
cool.
phone.
Sometimes they do get powers, yeah.
And they get power sometimes. So, but in this isekai,
It's like Digimon. You ever watch Digimon?
Yeah.
Digimon's
there
an
you go.
isekai,
Is it?
technically.
They don't die.
They
No,
get sent
they
to
get
they get sent to
transported
another world.
Yeah, but most of the time for isekai, they die.
Not all the time.
No, it's
There are
Rising of the
some-
Shield Hero. You don't die.
I don't know. Most of the ones I've seen,
He
they
just
all
got
die.
transported. Yeah,
Ah.
there's some of them where you just get transported.
Yeah.
Ah,
Digimon's an isekai.
okay.
That's
Never thought of
Digimon's
that.
an isekai.
Yeah. The OG.
So this Red Ranger loses in a battle against his final boss in his world, and then he gets sent to a fantasy world. And bro, the name, because you know how like Super Sentai has like really really weird names for their forces and
Yep.
things like that. And this, I'm going to get it wrong. I swear I'm going to get the
But
name
what is
wrong.
it?
The name of their force is like the connection, the love connection force. Like they're all about bonds and connections and they,
Lame.
like, bro. But it's Super Sentai. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, you know how usually you'll have like a dinosaurs, cars, like
Yeah.
But like when it's like corny, like that type of Super Sentai, they lean into like the dumbest tropes. Like we're the condiment, like they're like condiments, like as their names and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like they call like some of the villains like the heartbreakers or the people who hate bonds and hate relationships
Oh
and things
my
like that. They're
God.
always trying to like break people up.
Dang.
He gets sent to another world, but he still is able to turn to the Red Ranger.
Okay.
But in this world, everybody's like, what's this dude's deal? Because all the things that usually happen to Power Rangers when, like, you know how when they transform
Right.
and then an explosion happens,
Yeah.
the explosion happens, everybody's like, why didn't an explosion just happen?
Right.
The people are like, one, they're like, he's OP as fuck, right? So people
Yeah.
are like, there's no mana. He has no mana. He has nothing.
You
They're
see
like,
this
why
bitch?
is there fire? Why is he doing all this stuff to transform?
'Cause like nothing happened.
And then he's taking out all the stuff, and then he's like summons like the one where like some of the weapons where you need everybody to like work together to do it,
Yeah.
and he's like forcing other people like who like are from this world, like he's like, guys, we need to work together so we can do this. We need to connect our bonds. You're like, everybody's like,
What are you
why-
talking
what?
about?
They're like, okay. He's like, so they shoot like a beam. They try to shoot like the V laser thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, and he's like, oh no, our bonds weren't strong enough. We have to work on our bonds, guys.
Stop.
And then eventually, like, yeah, it does work.
Yeah.
Or he's able to also bring out the Megazord.
Dang.
But the bonds, like all the like, it's so stupid and
Dang.
silly.
That
I
sounds
need a
really
silly
fun.
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
just here for the laugh, bro. Because like
Yeah.
all the characters in that world are like, this is so corny. And
Right.
this is the world you're from. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like, he's like, yeah, the kids love it. They're like, oh
The
my,
kids.
they're like, oh my god. But they're like a medieval fantasy world,
Yeah.
like dealing with the Red Ranger.
That's
Does he
so
get a
funny.
harem in this? Another trope.
It's only
in
two
isekai, you
Yeah.
always get a harem.
I mean,
Got
his first cohort to travel with is a very busty
Of
mage
course.
girl.
Sure.
I've always.
No? There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, yeah, like we all know what isekai is in this room, so like I'm so glad that we all shared in the explanation.
Yeah.
Make sure you talk into the mic.
This was an
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, it was a very good experience, and I'm glad that we all just willingly talked about isekais and
Made a
now
connection.
everyone knows exactly.
The bonds are
He
strong.
learned-
Bonds,
he
the
learned
bonds.
he learned something new today, guys.
Yeah, no, I've known this the whole time.
It's okay. Everybody's so creative. Dr. Stone.
Oh,
how is
nice.
that? It's the final season, right?
Listen, man, I know what I'm getting into when I'm
Yeah.
going to this Dr. Stone. And I just have a little fun time watching these guys
Is it still
invent
fun?
little things.
Science.
I'm having, yeah, it's just
Bill
like,
Nye the
it's
Science
just
Guy.
a different pace from like all the other like actiony things I'm watching. Like I'm right now, I'm looking with all the stuff going on in the Sawardo. I need a chuckle.
Yes.
You know
Agreed.
what I mean? So like I'm having a good time with Dr. Stone. I think This is the final season.
Honestly, I just want to know why did everyone turn to stone? That's all I care about at this point. I watched 2 seasons and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I know already because of a YouTube video, but I'm still looking forward to the journey to see how it plays out. Because I just saw like little details for the
It's
most
all about
part.
the journey.
But I'm having fun with Dr. Stone, and I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else out, so I think I'm done from here.
All right. Castlevania Nocturne Season 2.
Oh,
I saw a clip on TikTok, bro.
Holy shit.
That shit looked gas. Like I saw a clip of him fighting. I was like, oh no, this
Wait, did you watch
animation.
I have not watched it.
I've
but
only
it's on
seen-
my list.
I've only seen the first 2 episodes, so I want to.
Of Season 2 or 1?
The first one.
Yeah,
The
same.
first season?
Yeah.
Well, there's Castlevania and then there's Castlevania Nocturne.
the other one,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I remember you
Castlevania.
guys didn't know it was a video game.
Yeah. That was like a year
I
ago.
Which is
knew.
so funny. Yeah, I grew up playing like all the Castlevania games. When
Really?
the anime came out, I was like, oh, this is lit. And then I watched the first few episodes of season 1, and I was like, this is really good.
And then you stop.
And then I
Like-
stopped because
I
that's
hate
just
when
what I
that
do.
Now I
Yeah.
know why Arcane took so long to like come out with the season 2, because clearly they were putting a lot of effort in Castlevania, because Castlevania Nocturne season 1 came out like last year. So I was super surprised that we got it so fast. And oh my God, season 2 is just as good as the first season,
Ooh.
just as good as any other season of Castlevania, honestly. Because Arcane came out like 2 months ago, so like it's going to be in like
And that was
whatever
3 years in
awards
between.
for 2025. So honestly, Castlevania Nocturne might give it a run for its money as far as like story, animation, hands. It was so good. So much great character development for all of the characters. So like, did you watch the first season?
I've never watched any of Castlevania.
Ah, okay. So we'll watch that
Oh.
together.
No, I don't
Um,
want to.
You don't
I
want to
just-
watch any of Castlevania?
No, I'm good.
You need
Why?
to watch.
I think
the
it's because I don't.
first-
I don't feel like I
No.
deserve to watch it
What do you
No, you
mean?
can watch Castlevania Nocturne season 1 and then season 2. That's
because
fine.
I just
You don't need to
I'll
watch the
wait till it
original
finish.
Castlevania.
Got it. So you can
Yeah.
just jump right into Nocturne.
Yeah, you could just jump right in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll jump into the Nocturne thing, but I don't feel like I deserve to because I've never. And this is a me problem. It's just like this weird thing I have because I never tried to entertain the video games ever.
I've never even
And
heard
I've
of the video games before
I
the show.
know,
It doesn't
but
matter. You can still
that's
watch.
but I have, so I feel bad partaking now in something that I've been kind of like. I'm
No.
good.
That makes no
No.
sense.
That's just I said it's a me problem. It don't make no sense. But you ever feel like that sometimes? You feel guilty why something is like I'm not even a fan of it. Should I be watching this?
It's not like you're a bandwagoner. For some
No,
reason, I'm
yeah.
not hearing a lot of people talk about this.
Mm.
I've heard
And
some people.
It's a sleeper right now.
A friend of mine was going off saying that they think Castlevania is the best thing Netflix has animated, low key, and
No,
I was
I'm-
like,
Clip I saw on
telling
TikTok,
you,
bro. Look gas.
The choreography, it's so smooth. It looks so good. Honestly, kudos to whoever's behind Castlevania Nocturne. And thankfully, they left it open for a season 3.
okay,
I'm super excited. I'm super interested in just like seeing where else these characters go. Because I honestly, I don't think there's a single character in the whole cast that I don't like. I love Castlevania Nocturne season 2. Crushed it. There's only 8 episodes too.
Yeah.
okay.
So
it seems easy to watch.
they're
And,
30
like-
minutes.
And also like what Corey was saying, like feeling guilty about watching something like, oh, I'm not a Castlevania fan. Should I watch this? I feel like that's why they create these things.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, so it's like, all right, so now you like the show, go play the game.
Listen,
know?
you guys are valid, but I know I'm not gonna play the game. And it's just
You don't need to.
just a weird quirk.
I wouldn't be
It's a weird-
surprised if they come out with a new Castlevania video game though.
It's the same reason I
Because-
won't watch the Fallout show.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
I
What?
watched the Fallout
know-
show, and I
I
didn't.
said I'm not saying you should even follow this rule, girl.
You should
I'm
explore this.
I'm
side of
saying it's a
yourself.
me problem. It's just
Mhm.
a weird me
Ah.
problem.
It
You
is
should
weird.
self-reflect.
Yeah, you
See what's
should.
going on there.
Hey, listen, the first step is being self-aware. I'm aware of it. I know it's dumb.
Let's take that next step,
I'm
brother.
not. I'm not even trying to defend it. That's why I'm not even saying you should follow the rule. I'm like, you can keep on saying that you do that. I'm like, I'm not telling you to follow my set.
I will. The only thing I will say about the Castlevania game situation, there's like 20 plus games in the history of it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I would suggest
been around
there
since
are
the
a few
NES
games that
era.
are like timeless classics. Castlevania Symphony of the Night that came out for the PlayStation, it literally defied a genre. They call it Metroidvania,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
that's the game that'll like change it. Like it changed my life.
Okay.
So like, I would suggest to play it.
When was the last
Nice.
game? When was the last time a Castlevania game came out?
I want to say like in 2011,
That's not that long ago.
2012. Like they like Shadows of the
You
Damned.
forget
I
how
believe.
long.
She,
10 years.
she said 13.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do like compilations. Like they had a bunch of compilations for the Switch that
Yeah.
came out a couple years ago. So.
Okay.
It's also just been around
Yeah.
since the NES era, right? Or
Right.
SNES.
NES.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been around for forever.